Hello everyone. Today we are going to speak to a true storyteller and adventurer, Bhanu Prakash Chandra, with a bachelor's in fine arts majoring in photography and photojournalism. Bhanu's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, capturing impactful images as a photographer at the Week, India's English news weekly magazine. Bhanu's lens has uncovered gripping human interest tales and hard news stories from around the world. Bhanu's passion for photography has earned him prestigious applause. Beyond his camera, Bhanu is a tech enthusiast and avid motorcyclist. He has explored the front lines in Ukraine's Donbas region and even graced the cover of the week's historic issue. Join us for an engaging conversation that delves into the dynamic experience and unwavering curiosity. I am Abubakar Siddiq. You're watching Journalism Through a Lens. First tell me, who's a photojournalist?
Abu, first of all, I want to thank you for showing interest to portray or interview me and tell the story of war. I thank you and your organization for inviting me. Coming back to your question, the photojournalist is someone who faces the situation firsthand and experiences the ground realities and tells what is happening there to the people. So through his pictures and sometimes words, and in modern days with the videos.
And even the photographers do the same job, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, photographers actually just record what is happening. It is also kind of documentation, but photojournalists will have a view because of knowledge they have about a word. They can tell stories with their own personal angle, and they can have, for example, a comparison between certain things like that. For example, if you take wildlife, there are two kinds of things. One, you talk about just the beauty of the animal, that is photography. But if you are a photojournalist or a storyteller, you look and the comparison between animals and their behavior and all, you give more importance to that so that it is represented well.
So you mean to say at the same time you give more importance to the headlines also?
You mean to say the headline topics
Yeah.
or the caption?
Yes, caption headlines.
Yeah. So what happens is there is a saying that a picture can tell 1,000 words, but in some cases it works. But in most of the cases, because we are talking about larger audience, because you're showing it to a larger audience, a caption or a good headline can actually give more information than a picture. So I'm a magazine journalist. So I tell stories within an elaborative way with a lot of pictures and a lot of text, and sometimes accompanied by the videos.
Okay, well, thank you. Coming back to the main question, tell us about the Ukraine war coverage, how it started. Did you think about the assignment or like was it asked by your authority to go? How did you work on this?
No, it was my idea because ever since the war started, I was in this shock that what we are in 21st century and this war is happening, that too in Europe. So I was little, though I have covered wars before, those are all different kind of a war. In Ukraine, I thought this war will never happen, and we can't afford to, because in a global world everything is connected, right? So I thought this will not happen. Then war is dragging to the 500 days and more than now. It's more than 500 days. So then I thought, how this war is still continuing. Let me go and see my first. Everybody is curious because in modern days narratives also controlled. You know that with the advent of social media, people want to control narratives. So I thought I will go independently and observe what is really happening. So that is one of the reason which actually I made a decision to go. It was not I have not been asked to go or anything. So it's my idea, and my editors agreed for it.
So you said independently. I mean, like, what was the process and how did you do a research? Because I'm definitely because the kind of after reading the article, almost like 50 plus pages, 50 plus, the pages of your entire story has been portrayed here. So what was the process? What did you do a little bit of research? Because how did you get to know? Did you have to contact and how was it? Like, how did you get in touch with people over there and from Indian embassy and things like? How did it work? Could you just tell about that part?
See, for a photojournalist, for a source is first thing, and then gaining confidence of the people whom you are going to interview is the second thing. So, in my case, I did research to know about the history of relationship between Ukraine and Russia. So, I read a lot of books, like recently written by many veteran journalists after the war broke out. So, I read a lot of books like. What happened just before war started, and those all things gave me insight to understand it better. But reading about Ukrainian history gave me a big insight about how Ukrainians think, and how to behave with them. So, particularly if you are a conflict journalist or a conflict photojournalist, first thing you have to know is geopolitics. Second thing is cultural aspect of the people. If you are now missing those two things, you will get into trouble. So these are the aspects which I learned from those books, and that really helped me to carry out this assignment. And other process that you are asking about, visa and all, it was a hurdle actually. I never got scared about war or being there with in between the bombs and all, but I was scared of all this red tapeism of visa travel process and all. It was difficult, but somehow I pulled off.
Now, when we talk about wars, we have seen in movies and what we see right now in Ukraine, what's happening over there. When you thought about this going for the assignment, there was some sort of a fear in you, like, because we don't know what might happen. And how was the response from editor, your colleagues, your friends, your family?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody thought I'm a madman to go there and all. It is true because it's not that I was scared or anything. I was scared even when I was on assignment on the ground. I got scared a few times, but it's all about management. Coming back to the reality, you are already in the waters. Only thing you can do is swim. So I just managed it.
Basically, your focus is on more into human interest stories. How do you approach?
See, that is what appeals people. No, you are not talking about how many tankers comes there, donated by European countries, or how many equipments comes there. It's all written. But what you go and talk to a common people there, how they're suffering in the war field or because of the war in even far cities which are far from the front line, they will have also problem because of the war, because of the collapse of economy. So this interests me because we can't afford a war in 21st century in a connected global world. Because I'll give you an example. Ukraine is a producer of sunflower oil. Sunflower, basically they grow sunflower. When I was traveling, I was seeing infinite view of sunflower and wheat fields. So that is, I experienced this firsthand. So we all know that Ukraine is the number one exporter of sunflower seed and oil. So when this war started, everywhere in the globally everywhere, the price of cooking oil went up. That's the connected word I'm talking about. So if something happens somewhere, it'll definitely affect us or anywhere in the globe because of the connect. And it's a network. It's a connected word. So that's why every something happens in far from our homeland also concerns us.
So, could you tell us how you started your journey, like how long it took and how you stayed there? Man, we need some more info because we have read it, but as because you're a man over there, you have been over there, you've been on the field, you're back here, and could you share how it started?
Yeah, this 50-page story talks detail about my journey. It was 18 days of assignment. 18 days is a very short time to tell a big story, but somehow because of my research and the swiftness that I acted on the ground, I was able to achieve it. So it is if you ask me how many days I spent on front line, it is only 8 days. Within 8 days I went to the stabilization center. Stabilization center is a field hospital where freshly injured soldiers are brought there for life saving purpose. After that they are transported to bigger hospital in bigger cities. But if they are first soon after they are injured, their first place they come is this place. So I was there witnessing the injuries, though it was not fatal injuries that I witnessed, but it was gut wrenching because the blood, the injuries, the pain, and all. But despite all that, I saw only positivity in those soldiers who actually never got scared of war or anything. They were all longing to go back to the fighting. The second thing is, I visited few trenches, like in the front line trenches where soldiers hold up for weeks together fighting. So I got an opportunity to go to 2 3 trenches. So it was an different kind of experience, and it's all high. It's tensed places, like everywhere the bomb is, the artillery and mortar fires are flying from incoming and outgoing. So it's kind of scary moment. You don't know when one of the bombs will land near you.
Any challenging moment or any moment where
So
you
this
still
is
recollect, because you're not alone, you're going with a huge gears of cameras and camera and the lenses. So I mean, you need to take care of the equipment as well as you need to get that proper picture. Was there a little fear, like any instance where you can recollect?
No, keeping a count of our safety of equipments is a second priority. Keeping your life as a first priority. I mean, safeguarding your life as a first priority. For example, when I went to a trench near Bakhmut. Bakhmut is now occupied by Russia. The near the a trench in Bakhmut, it was like it's like a forest area, and all the area was mined. I had to walk in only one path where this soldier took me. Uh, you told me that you cannot walk anywhere else than my footsteps. So I was following just his footsteps. Then you hear the blasts, like bombs coming and going, fired from this side and fired from that side. So you get scared for a moment. What if this bomb comes near you and falls? But I was not thinking much about it, because I was totally involved in the with the work, about taking pictures, taking videos, and talking to them. So though there was danger, I was not really concerned about the danger at that moment.
Were you restricted from some spots, like taking people to pictures, something? Were you restricted to that?
Yeah. See, all Warfront is restricted. These are the access you gain by gaining a confidence or trust from the particular battalion. They trust you, and when you talk to them, or when they talk to you, they know that this person is a true journalist, is going to tell the true story. So they trust, and they give you access. But despite that, there are a lot of restrictions, like you cannot show the geography, how the place, the trees, or some electric poles and all is there. This will give away enemy. There's a lot of signs where the place is, and they might attack them again later, say after publication. So all these details were asked not to reveal. So something like that.
You just mentioned about trust, because because right now what we see in the media, you have been on the field, and we also see people from the studio discussing. So how different do you see that?
See, this is a different. Armchair journalism is very different. You can actually write the same story sitting here without even going there, imagining. Now you have AI. You can just tell that, write a story, art, touching story, and it will write. But it's all about individual credibility. If somebody knows a person, that you won't lie, you won't make up things. This is what the credibility, that is also individuality, that will bring this story. So people have faith in me. I'm here as a photojournalist for last 19 years. So people have seen my integrity and my work. So when I tell story, they trust. So I just tell the story what I witnessed. If I had witnessed something very different, I would have documented and told the same story.
You just now mentioned about AI, artificial intelligence. Do you think somewhere it is going to be a danger,
No,
damaging,
no, it's
because it does the same job what you do it?
exactly what I'm telling is AI is useful in way of productivity, not in way of telling emotional stories. It might write an emotional story, but whom you are trusting. Like, if if you hear a story from your grandmother, it has a different feeling for you. Like that, somebody has to have a relationship with the storyteller. That's when it will reach the readers or audience. The AI is a very mechanized way. It is like you're listening a story cassette or a CD. It will not have a grandmother's appeal. So, like the human touch is very important in telling stories.
You are a tech enthusiast,
Yes.
and how do you combine your work with the tech and the photography and the photo, like,
Yeah, that is how it was easy for me to execute this assignment, because I carried two GoPros, two DSLR, professional DSLR bodies, and one Zoom recorder, and then I was shooting in iPhone also. All this combined, actually, when you are post production, it will come to help. But managing that over the years, I was okay with handling them, so it was easy for me.
so mentally how well you were prepared?
So you know the danger. It is like 50-50 chance. If you are going to a war field, it is a 50-50 chance. You know the danger. Something might happen to you. It has happened. It is not that for me. The places which I visited, the very next day, whoever went there was got shelled. So I was at the right time at the right place. If I had gone one day later, it should have been me. So I had a translator who was a Ukrainian. So he was always, whenever he heard some news from the place we visited, used to tell that we just missed with the whiskers and all. So exactly, there is danger always. As I said, I was at the right place at the right time.
Technology somewhere killing the people who are hardworking, who are on the field, because today the technology is so advanced. Whatever happens across the world, today I get on Twitter. So somewhere, how do you see this? Because end of the day, what a consumer wants is he wants to see who's going
No,
to
that
take
is
the.
true. In a way, it is good because you don't need to be present there, whoever there. But you have to take it with a little bit of a doubt, because fake news, narratives, propaganda, and all that play a big role in social media. So you have to, even if it is true, you have to go through a screening process and understand whether it is true or not. But see, again, I'm telling you, you can shoot a video of a restaurant and food review and all is fine. Making a good movie, you need to have professionalism. Likewise, you can tell story with your reels and all. I'm not telling that it's not story, but to tell the credible story with the professional standard, you need to be a photojournalist. You need to be a storyteller. It no need to be. So it's not that only photojournalists can tell stories, but anybody can tell stories with that kind of integrity. That is what needs.
In the war zone, how much of patience did you carry yourself? Because
Oh, it's totally. You need to be patient even something is going wrong. If you are not patient enough, you will get into a lot of risk. Even if things are not working. See, within 8 days, I had to produce a lot of things. Like I had an appointment with various battalions and all. Sometime it was not happening. For example, I actually met two Indian nationals who are fighting for Ukraine as a Ukrainian army soldier in International Legion Battalion. So these people, I was pursuing, I was looking for them ever since I pitched this idea. So what happened is, until the last moment, there was no confirmation that I would meet them. So you need to wait. End of the day, there would be some kind of silver lining that will help you. So patience is the paramount in war zones. If you lose patience, you will get into trouble.
one more question is the basic, the viewers who are watching our podcast. Can you just briefly tell a bit of what exactly is happening? You can, because what we are knowing right now,
See, when the war started on 22 in 2022 on February 24th, so a lot of people, it was a shock, because a lot of people thought this will not happen. This just after pandemic, we suffered so much as a humanity, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, and nationality. Everybody suffered. People thought humanity has learned a lesson with this big pandemic. But that's the reason why is a lot of people believed that this war is not going to happen. But opposite to that, it started. Then everybody thought within matter of 10 days or something, the Ukraine going to fall into Russian hands. This is not just common human beings or not common people. Even many countries thought that Ukraine going to fall within matter of weeks. But you see, after even 500 days, it's more than nearly 2 years, they're still holding the country and a lot of positions. That is because Ukrainians, what I observed, have a high spirit to defend their country. They are patriotic. They are very individualistic. They want to defend their country at any cost. Most of the soldiers whom I met are mostly, every other soldier whom I met was a farmer. The farmers have come to fight like that, and a few others whom I met were either lawyers, musicians, teachers, sportsmen, journalists, so or chef. So most of the people who are fighting in Ukrainian army, apart from the professional soldiers who were recruited before the war, are voluntarily coming and fighting to defend their country, and they know that there is death. They know that there is a death. Still, they are highly spirited, highly charged to defend their country. That is what actually mesmerized me. Actually put me in a very positive mood.
Nation first. They wanted to.
Yeah, nation first, defend their country. But what I'm telling is, it's like they're celebrating the fighting. It's not that they're scared or anything. When I was talking about that, the stabilization center, the field hospital, I casually asked one doctor, have you seen anybody repeatedly, like same soldier, injured soldier coming back to you? He gave me two instances where one person he has seen second time, another person he has seen third time. So that is the spirit they carry. They get injured, they recover, and they go back to war. They get injured, they come back, they recover, and they go back to war. So who will do that? If people want a lame excuse to stay at home, if they are injured once, if they are fearful of war and all, they will sit at home, right? But in this case, some people were showing frustration. Oh, I am injured, I can't fight, and all. So that is the kind of positivity and spirit they have to defend their country. And the only thing they are looking for is a modern weapon and ammunition from the partnering countries.
Any of the families, especially mothers, did you speak to them? Like, what did they tell?
See, they are all grieving. I don't want to go back and disturb their whatever time. They are all in pain. So sometimes they talk, but I never try to get into their, because it's none of my business to get into their emotional turmoil.
Apart from journalism, like as a human.
No,
touch,
that's
like,
what I'm telling. So immediately when I attended a funeral of a 22-year-old musician who was a violinist, his funeral, but I wanted to talk to their parents, and because you know that in modern days there are many media channels, many YouTube channels. Everybody go and pester them there. So I thought I'll not trouble them. So I observed whatever. Actually, if you're a true journalist, you can sense a lot of things. Yeah, not journalist, to human being, you can sense emotion even not talking to them. So what you miss out is some kind of a detail, what age, where he studied and all that. That I collected later, but emotion, how mother's pain and all, you could actually understand from standing far. So I attended one this funeral in church there. The mother was the strongest person in the room. Everybody else, the friends, family, the sisters, everybody were grieving, but mother was very strong woman who had never shown her emotion.
So in your magazine cover story, one image, like it speaks a lot. Where war and it was like how.
See, actually, depending on what kind of personality you are, you like certain pictures. Like for me, I got a lot of feedbacks. Many times, I have some 28 to 30 pictures published. So almost all the pictures are liked by different kind of peoples. For you, that appealed. For somebody else, something else appealed, because your emotion is connected with some visual there. So this picture you are talking about is a aid distribution center. The villages which is affected by the war in the front line, the villagers are given ration by NGOs. They are there to collect the distribute things there. So they were waiting there, and it's a long wait though. So that's the scene from the distribution center.
So as a photojournalist, to get that one picture, you need to wait. So if you tell me about that, like were you particular about like to get me for my story, because you know what stories to write and you decide yourself. How did you have that?
No, see, that is all like in a normal condition you can plan, but here it is just witness what is happening in front of you and capture it, and find out the emotion around it and write. That becomes a story. You don't need to do kind of plan, and it becomes a scripted things. No, there is no script here. Whatever I witnessed, I just shoot. Sometimes it is not photographically correct also, like composition or anything, but that is what photojournalism about. I was talking about you about photography and photojournalism. Photography is about composition, color, lighting, texture, and all that thing, but here that is not a matter. Even if it is not focused properly, sometime if it tells a story, that picture is worth.
So you happen to meet any Indians in Ukraine? Because your story also has a story about two soldiers who are from India.
Yeah, see, actually, we have seen what happened during the beginning of the war. People, Indians, wanted to get out of the country desperately, and government did this Operation Ganga and brought back a lot of uh, people stranded there, particularly students. And also, we heard from our state one student was killed in Kharkiv. That was the same place where he was died. I visited that place, so there is some lot of Indian connection there. So another thing is there are still a lot of Indians who live in Kiev, particularly in Kiev. They are all one is a professor, one is a businessman. So they all like it's Ukraine is second home for them. They speak Ukrainian language. They love Ukrainian food. Some of them are married to Ukrainians. So for them, they don't want to come in during this hard time escaping. They have a choice to come back to India. And other thing is, some of the people who thought little emotionally or little stronger than them, like there are three people. I met only two. The third one, I think, is from Tamil Nadu. He didn't show any interest to meet me. Other two people whom I met, one, both of them went there as students to study in Ukraine, and then war broke out. They joined the Ukrainian army in the International Legion, and both are fighters, trained to handle guns and all. So one of them was very open to talk about his name and his place and other things. The other one, he didn't wanted to reveal his identity, so he gave his Ukrainian name. It's not his real name. So he's from Madhya Pradesh. The other one who was very open was from Haryana. So both of them actually participated in a lot of operation, and they are visibly angry about Russia's brutal. They were complaining that Russia is a very brutal military force. They are killing civilians and they are raping. So this is like I am meeting Desis there. So it was a different experience.
One more video, I saw it on your reels, like where you were on a truck. One Ukraine soldier was trying to enjoy.
Yeah, yeah.
Just could you
So
just
I
share
was
about, because in that war zone, I know, as you mentioned, like they are for the nation and they don't care. As you mentioned, they go to hospital, they get treatment, they come back again. They go to the war zone, they go to hospital again, they come back. So like,
Yeah, this person was not a fighting soldier, but he's a soldier in army. But he was given a responsibility of handling media. He's a press officer. So when I was riding in back of a pickup truck with him, he said, "I have an Indian song in my mobile. I keep listening to this." And I asked which one. He opened and started playing that in a bumpy road. He started playing, and I didn't know which song is this. Then through the word and music, I understood it must be a Punjabi song. And this is they later I found out it's called Jogi. It is a Punjabi song, and he was enjoying it and he was showing it to me on record. So I recorded that and put it in my reels.
so you had been to war zones. It could be Syria, and the recent one is Ukraine. Once you come back to India, what are the brilliant questions and what the stupid questions have been asked?
The stupid question would be like, did you get food? Did you carry empty air pockets and all? Actually, it's not a priority for me. I can gel with, I can adjust with any kind of food. That was not at all a question. And food comes second, because first food for your soul is to get your story, get what you want to tell. If you get an access or get the pictures or the information that you are seeking, that is the first food that I expect. The eating was second priority, so that was not a big thing. Everybody thinks that there are no food in the war zones, which is not true. And yes, of course, in certain countries there is a dearth of supply, and there's a malnutrition and all. But in Ukraine, it was different. It is a different kind of a war. You won't find any restaurant without food, or super malls are filled with fruits and like banana and oranges, apples, and all. You can, if you are bored with eating only bread and cheese and chicken, you can actually go for fruits. So that was not at all a priority. So that always, I feel that people always think about eating and not working. So that seemed like a stupid question to me. The other hilarious question is, they always concerned, how did you get this risk of life and went and do the story? Why do you do this? And all. I found that hilarious, because life is precious, and people think that everybody is going to war zone, going to die, which is true in many cases. I mean, it is like a gambling with
Because
life.
we have lost many journalists.
Yeah, it's a gambling of life. I'm not denying that there is no danger. There is danger. If you're a careless person, danger increases a lot. But I'm telling you,
What do you mean by careless person? Can you just...
if you don't do your research, see, despite all that, you will get into trouble. I'm not telling unexpected explosion. You don't know where the landmine is, where are the snipers are, or which artillery going to come and fall on you. You don't know. I'm talking in terms of only Ukrainian war. But in Middle East, where I went, there is also threat of kidnapping. So that is added there. So I'm talking about, particularly when it comes to Ukraine, you need to study little bit about incoming and outgoing fires. You will know that which one is the incoming fire and which one is the outgoing fire. If you think, I'll just go like a picnic and guided tour or go and come back, it is not possible. You need to know the hostile situation, how to handle if there is a hostile situation and all. So that is the hilarious question. But why I found it hilarious is, the death can come to you in any assignment, not just in war zone. We have seen in a big riot in our own country, people have faced a lot of fatal injuries. So death can come from anywhere. So it's not just war zone. I will tell you, walking on certain streets as a pedestrian itself is as dangerous as walking on war zone. So we have seen how just ordinary pedestrians, as we need to buy bikes or cars, and they die. For me, to risk your life to tell the story is always been a passion. So I'll continue to do that.
Thank you, Bhanu, for giving us your precious time and telling us the details about what all happened in your journey covering the Ukraine war crisis, and giving us a lot of informations. And a man who was on field today is with Daily Salar. Thank you very much for sharing the dash with us.
I am also thankful for Daily Salar to giving this opportunity, and I thank Abu personally for inviting me to this show.